The views and opinions expressed on this program are not necessarily those of this station, JVC Broadcasting Management, or its sponsors.
With so many people living longer, the fear of outliving your money becomes a reality for many of us. Will I be a financial burden? Will I outlive my money? How will I be remembered? My name is Neil Himmelstein, president of Main Street Planning Group. Please contact me by visiting mainstreetplanninggroup.com. That's mainstreetplanninggroup.com, or call 631-647-4694. I will introduce you to strategies that will guarantee you will not outlive your money, that can guarantee you will not be a burden on your loved ones. Through a collaborative approach, we will uncover solutions that offer tax-efficient strategies, lifetime income, and legacy planning, choice, organization, direction, and education. That is the code we stand behind. Contact mainstreetplanninggroup.com, that's mainstreetplanninggroup.com, or call 631-647-4694. And listen to me every Friday at 3 p.m. as I host the Main Street Code for Financial Success, right here on 103.9 LI News Radio. Good afternoon. Welcome to the Main Street Code for Financial Success. I'm your host, Neil Himmelstein of Main Street Planning Group. I can be reached at 631-647-4694 or my web street, mainstreetplanninggroup.com. I always like to tell people about our code. Our code is choice, organization, direction, and education. I help hundreds of financial advisors across the country in the areas of insurance, particularly annuities, life insurance, disability, and long-term care strategies. You know, this is a great day. It's a beautiful day out here on Long Island, and it's a wonderful day that we seem to be coming out of this COVID and we're getting back to business. And I'm just so excited about all of this. I'm going to see my kids next week. I'm thrilled. I haven't seen them in 2 years. I'm going to see them live. I'm going to travel. You know, now that this is over, things are looking brighter. The market's a funny thing. We had a couple dips this week, and you know, there are guarantees in the market. It's guaranteed to go up, and it's guaranteed to go down. And one of the things I like to talk about is longevity. You know, once we retire, and the market's going great, and I'm not saying get out of the market, but what I'm saying is you need to reallocate and rewire your thinking into diversifying not just what you have in the market, but you need some sort of guarantees of income. Guaranteed income for life we can do with annuities. And I have to tell you something, you know, in reading a lot of journals and everything else, a lot of the people come to me, how much money do I need to retire? Do I need $1 million? Do I need $500,000? Do I need $3 million? What you need when you retire, you need income. It doesn't matter whether you have $1 million or $2 million or $10 million or $100,000. At the end of the day, what you need is income to pay your bills and to live your lifestyle. So what do you have coming in as income? And then the other thing we talk about as you're saving is what do you have as income coming in tax-free? What do you come in as income as being taxable? Because certainly tax-free money is a lot more valuable than taxable money. So in our long-term strategies, we incorporate life insurance, we incorporate annuities, and these are great savings vehicles in addition to anything that you may be doing in the market for growth and or doing with your 401ks and IRAs. So these are all things we talk about. We've talked about guaranteed income for life before in many meetings. We've talked about protection with life insurance and living benefits. We talked about income protection with disability coverage. And we talk about long-term care. And we talk about these things all the time because it is so prevalent that we are living longer and we are going to need some sort of assistance. And how are we going to do that? I know with me, my children do not live anywhere near New York. If something happened to me and my wife, who's going to take care of us? Am I going to take them out of their lifestyles to fly to New York to take care of me? What happens to their job? What happens to their income? How is it going to affect their children if they have children? Mine don't yet. But at the end of the day, these are things that you have to consider when you're doing planning with your family or with Main Street Planning Group, or your financial advisor should be asking you these questions. If your financial advisor just does investments and doesn't talk about annuities or life insurance or diversifying your asset classes, not just and your tax classes, then come to me and I will give you an advisor that will specialize in your particular area. Today I want to focus on talking about life insurance. How much should I buy? What type of life insurance should I buy? When do I reevaluate? And how should I pay for it? Out of my account, my business account. So I kind of wanted to get into some of these areas in a little more detail. So when you're considering purchasing life insurance, you have to look at either protecting one of two things. Protecting your income. You know, if you're making $100,000 a year and your spouse is dependent on that income or your children, then you may need 20 years of income protection as your death benefit for life insurance. Because how is your family going to survive the next 20 years without that income? Like I said, income is the key. If I buy a house, I might want to protect that mortgage. How's my spouse going to pay for that mortgage? So we buy life insurance to protect that mortgage. If I buy multiple houses, then I would have insurance for every one of those assets to protect it tax-free. Now, with the upcoming tax changes that are being proposed right now at the federal level, they're looking to tax the gain on possibly your house, definitely on your properties, when you buy, when you sell, when you defer. The government is looking to take money from your retirement accounts, all the taxes that you saved and deferred. They're looking to take them as quickly as they can. The Secure Act is forcing a 10-year payout, as we've said many times. And there's a new Secure Act 2 being proposed right now where they're trying to get at your retirement assets quicker. Why? Because through the length of time, we've been taught a couple of things. And things change. We were told, pay off your house. That's a great investment. Well, we can talk about that. We were also told, put as much money away as an IRA or a 401k as you possibly can, so we have all these great tax deductions. But what happens once we retire? Everything in that IRA and 401k, any dollar I touch becomes taxable then. Am I going to be in a lower tax bracket? Everybody said I'm going to be in a lower tax bracket. I haven't met many retirees that are in a lower tax bracket than when they were working, quite frankly. And tax brackets are going up. I've also run into a lot of situations with widows and that have a situation where the house is paid off, they're collecting Social Security, and they may have a $500,000 house, $700,000, and no bills, but they have no liquidity. They have no other income coming in case of emergency. So we tend to look at the house and say, is that the best strategy of paying off the house if there's no liquidity? So imagine living in a house that's filled with dollar bills, but all of a sudden a tree fell on it and I need to make repairs. Where am I going to get the money from? Because it's tied up in the house. Or I want to go on vacation. Where am I going to get the money from? So there's a lot of creative loans now. You know, we talk about reverse mortgages. You can now do a reverse equity line on your house instead of a mortgage, which is far less expensive and gives you access to money. Now, if you want your children to have that money, we can take a little income off of it. We can create an income stream, actually, by buying an immediate annuity and give you an income stream for the rest of your life. And with a portion of that income, we can replace that debt with life insurance. Isn't that a crazy idea? Protect our assets, diversify your assets. Life insurance is the only thing coming tax-free. Now, I may need $1 million of life insurance, and I just started working, but I need 20 times my income of $50,000, and I need $1 million. And I just started working. How am I going to buy that? Am I going to buy the most No, I may need just term insurance for right now. So if that's what the case is, that's what my need is. I may need much more insurance to go later, but we can fit any type of plan with any type of budget, and we'll go into some of those details right after the break. Thank you. This is Neil Himmelstein. You're listening to the Main Street Code for Financial Success. I can be reached at 631-647-4694. Thank you. Good afternoon. Welcome back to the Main Street Code for Financial Success. You're listening to Neil Himmelstein. I can be reached at 631-647-4694. Before the break, we were talking about life insurance, how much should I get, and what I should do with it. And basically, you want to either protect your income or your assets or both. That's how we look at life insurance. So let's just talk about some of the different purposes and why we might buy life insurance. First off, if I need to protect my income from my family, I'm going to buy life insurance maybe 20 times my income. If I'm young and just starting out, I may want to buy a term policy. Not just any term policy. It's not about the cheapest price. Is what term policy is going to be the best benefits? Well, you might hear on the radio, it's commodity, it's this one's cheaper than that. You want a policy, and you want to get the policy from someone who can represent many different companies, because they all have little different features in them. It's not all about price. So some of the term policies, for instance, if you had a heart attack or you had a major illness, you can get money out of that policy. And most of the term policies are good policies, are convertible, but convertible to what? That's the question. Why do I need something that's convertible? Well, if I become sick during the time that I have this life insurance and I have an issue, a health issue, when it's convertible, they'll convert to my original health when I buy the insurance. So if it's convertible, how will I know? Yeah, they all say they're convertible. What are they convertible to? These are questions you need to ask. Is it a top-rated company? Is it a company that's going to be around? What type of products, of permanent products, do they have? If they only have a limited amount of permanent products that it's convertible to, how expensive are those products if I have to convert it later on? Just because as we grow our assets, and as we make more money, we're going to need more life insurance down the road. So term insurance is a good holding spot for a lot of coverage, especially when you're younger. When you're older, we highly recommend permanent insurance, and we recommend even when you're younger to start permanent insurance. And we use permanent insurance as an extra savings vehicle as well. Why? Because when you buy permanent insurance, the money grows tax deferred. If you structure it correctly, you can take it out tax-free. And if, God forbid, you should pass away, it has a death benefit that is also tax-free. And if you need money along the way, you can take it out tax-free. If you become disabled, sometimes you don't have to pay for it if you have a disability waiver in there. Or if you might need long-term care and there's a long-term care rider in there, again, it could cover those expenses. All tax-free. All without 1099s, all without government involvement. There is no other investment out there where you don't have to pay taxes when you sell it. Either capital gains or penalties if you're in IRAs and 401ks, which are great long-term investments, but they require you to take them out at 59 and a half you can't touch your money till then, and then later without a 10% penalty and income tax. So it could cost you 30-40% to attach that money later on. So it's a great way. And then annuities are a great way of tax deferring things. Now, if you have a child and you just got married, now you have a child. Well, that's an additional asset you have to protect. Now, let's say you want to do something for college savings. I don't know if any of you have gone through this or not, but the FAFSA, which is something that you apply for college, for getting financial aid and or loans, favorable loans, says something in the FAFSA form. It says, no money in life insurance, annuities, or retirement plans is considered when they look at your assets when your child is going for college. I don't know if you know that. That's very interesting. The FAFSA form states, do not include any assets that are in life insurance, annuities, or retirement plans. That's key. Now, 529 plans are very good, another good college saving vehicle. However, if they're in the father's name or the mother's name for the beneficiary of their child, it is includable as an asset, unlike life insurance, unlike annuities. So it's a great grandparent program for your kids. I like 529 plans. The money grows tax deferred. The use is only for education. Otherwise, it basically is an annuity. You can switch beneficiaries if your kid or grandchild turns out that not college bound or not worthy of it. You can switch it to someone else. So it's a good way of controlling. It's a good vehicle. But life insurance, you can overfund it and hide a lot of money, and without taxation and without it being a countable asset for college. Very interesting tool. We also use life insurance for protecting our mortgages, as I said. And the one thing you want to consider later in life is if you happen to get divorced and you want to look at all your assets, you want to look at the retirement, you want to look at your spouse's retirement. What happens if your spouse dies? Life insurance protection, annuities, all that, very important that you view that and you review your assets on a regular basis, because life changes constantly. With every change, with everything we purchase, with every new child, we have to check the beneficiaries and see if things change. Life changes, always review, and always reevaluate. Now, how do I pay for life insurance? Typically, most insurance is bought with money that's already been taxed. This is why you have this great tax savings. However, if you are a business and you have your own pension plan, you can buy it through tax deductible dollars within your pension plan, and it can be purchased. You can still have that tax-free death benefit. However, the income out of that plan will be taxable. So that's another way. Or you can use it as a business as an incentive for other employees. I mean, it's a great benefit to offer your other employees. And the business can actually use it as golden handcuffs to attract highly compensated employees as an additional benefit by either bonusing money into a life insurance plan where they'll get the benefit, or the business loans the money. It's a technique called split dollar to the employee. They'll get paid back later, but if the employee leaves, the business keeps that money. So they don't get it unless they stay and reach the retirement necessary. It's another very big strategy that people use in some of their corporate planning is life insurance and long-term care. These are great benefits to have. So all I can say is look at all of your assets. determine where the taxability is. Now is a great time to renew and review everything now that you've done your taxes and tax season is coming to a close, even though it's later this year. Now regroup, look at where you're putting your money, look at how you're protecting your money, look at how it's working with your family and friends, and this is what you need to do now. Lock in your gains in the stock market and diversify your assets. Make sure you have income for yourself later on in life and you're able to protect it. This is Neil Himmelstein. I hope you enjoyed our show today. Have a terrific, beautiful afternoon. Looking for a great weekend. Summer is coming, baby. Thanks again.
The views and opinions expressed on this program are not necessarily those of this station, JVC Broadcasting Management, or its sponsors.